He didn't just find his sound, he forged it in chaos. The melodies feel effortless, the vibe feels weightless, but behind that floating voice is a story grounded in movement, struggle, and a family that shaped every note. This is Swae Lee, and his family story. It's deeper than the music lets on. Family background: a childhood on the move. Born Khalif Malik ibn Shaman Brown on June 7, 1993, Swae Lee entered a world where stability was never guaranteed, it was constantly shifting. Mother: Bernadette Walker. His mother wasn't just a parent, she was a U.S. Army soldier, and that one detail changed everything. Life with her meant moving from state to state: California, Mississippi, Maryland, Texas. Constantly adapting to new schools and environments. Learning independence at a very young age. She was strong, disciplined, and determined, but military life meant she was often busy, sometimes distant, and always on the move. Still, she held the family together. Her influence shows in Swae Lee's quiet confidence, calm on the surface, resilient underneath. Father: a missing presence. Swae Lee's father was largely absent from his life. And that absence wasn't just physical, it was emotional. No consistent father figure, no steady guidance from that side. A lingering sense of, figure it out yourself. That gap forced Swae Lee and his siblings to grow up faster than most kids. They didn't have the luxury of waiting for life to make sense. They had to make sense of it themselves. Siblings: the foundation of everything. If there's one thing that never left Swae Lee, it was his brothers. They weren't just family, they were his survival unit. Slim Jxmmi, Aqua Brown. This is where the story gets powerful. Slim Jxmmi isn't just Swae Lee's older brother, he's his closest collaborator, his creative counterpart, his partner in building a global brand. Together, they formed Rae Sremmurd, a name that would later dominate charts worldwide. But rewind the story: before the fame, they were living in rough neighborhoods in Mississippi. Kicked out of their home at one point. Squatting in abandoned houses. Recording music in makeshift setups with barely any equipment. They weren't chasing luxury, they were chasing escape. Their bond was built on shared struggle, shared hunger, shared belief that music was the way out. That's why their chemistry feels natural, because it's not manufactured. It's lived. Michael Sullivan, younger brother. The youngest of the trio, Michael grew up in the same unstable environment. Constant relocation, financial hardship, exposure to tough surroundings. But while Swae Lee and Slim Jxmmi channeled their energy into music, Michael's path took a darker turn. Family struggles. When real life hits hard. Even after success, not every chapter gets a happy ending. In 2020, tragedy struck the family. Michael Sullivan was involved in an incident that led to the death of their stepfather. It wasn't just news, it was a deep personal crisis for the family. For Swae Lee, it meant facing pain that fame couldn't fix, watching his family go through public scrutiny, being reminded that success doesn't erase trauma. It exposed a hard truth. You can leave the struggle, but parts of it don't always leave you. How family shaped Swae Lee. Everything about Swae Lee's sound, his softness, his melodies, his emotional tone, traces back to his upbringing. The influence of his family. Military mom: right pointing arrow, discipline, adaptability. Absent father: right pointing arrow, independence, emotional depth. Brothers: right pointing arrow, loyalty, collaboration, survival mindset. Struggles: right pointing arrow, creativity as escape. His music feels airy and effortless. But it's built on instability, brotherhood, pain turned into art. Swae Lee's story isn't just about talent, it's about where that talent was born. A moving childhood, a missing father, brothers who became his backbone. A family that faced both success and tragedy. And through it all, he didn't just survive, he harmonized the chaos. Because sometimes, the smoothest melodies don't come from perfect lives. They come from families that fought hard just to stay together.